This week's Torah portion of Parshat Vayeshev, we're all familiar of the familial struggle and internal rift that exists between Joseph and his brothers. The Torah describes, with regards to Yaakov's seeming preference and spoiling of Yosef, of all of the brothers, which obviously is very strange, and we would think from a parental standpoint, very inappropriate behavior. There's no question, at first glance, it seems totally off. And the Torah, when it emphasizes Yaakov's relationship with Joseph as opposed to the other brothers, it says, Vayiru echav, the brothers see, ki oto ahav avihem, vayisneu oto. There is constant emphasis on the word oto, him, that one. Says the Rashar Hirsch as follows, Oto, Dafka Yosef, specifically Joseph, Shelo haya shayach aleihem, he was not connected or affiliated, did not necessarily socialize with the other brothers, he was an outcast. Shelo haya itam biyachasim yeduditiyim, he was not friendly with his brothers, he was seen as a foreigner. And he even brought upon the brothers a certain amount of reprimand from their father as a result of his reports and slander that he brought to his father. It is he, Joseph, he is the son that is chosen by Jacob and that is demonstrated to him this remarkable love, passion, empathy from his father. Now there are two things, very important dichotomous ideas, opposing ideas that are important for us to learn from here. Number one, Jacob, it seems, recognizes ki oto ahav avihem. He recognizes that Joseph is an outcast, that he is not necessarily accepted by his brothers, and therefore perhaps that arouses in him a certain amount of compassion, a certain amount of empathy. He understands that he has to show Joseph more attention. He understands that he has to give him and offer him more consideration because of the fact that Joseph is not socially accepted, that he is socially inept. And therefore, what we learn from here is, on the one hand, the importance of recognizing Oto, that person, the other person, who might not necessarily fit in, who might look a little different, who might seem a little queer. That is the person, or quirky, that is the person that we have to recognize. That is the person that we have to give attention to. However, on the other hand, and opposed to this, we also understand that Yaakov made a grave mistake, a grave error, in only giving attention to Yosef. And I say this to families who are dealing with children who are special needs, children who have different issues, who require that extra attention. We need to remember, and this is something that I had to remember and Gabby had to remember with regards to dealing with Gila when she was alive. There are other children around us. We have to give them attention as well. And while we and they might recognize that this particular child might need that attention, we also have to remember the other part of the pasuk, Vayisneu oto echav. As a result of just giving the attentiveness to this particular child who needs it, granted, it might result in a certain amount of bitterness and a certain amount of opposition, which can cause a rift in the family itself. I want to thank my children because during the time that Gila was suffering and needed a tremendous amount of extra attention and care from Gabby and myself towards her, not only did my children not complain, not only did they not oppose or demonstrate bitterness towards it, but quite the opposite. They emphatically insisted that they should be part of helping Gili. They were deeply concerned in helping her along and being a part of perhaps those pieces of the puzzle that could make her life more comfortable. And so I say to all families, I am not an expert in parenting, far be it from that. In fact, I'm not an expert in anything. But I'll say, number one, it is extremely important for us to give that extra attention and care to a child, a student, a colleague who needs it. But at the same time, we have to try our best to navigate and maneuver so that the other people around us as well understand that giving that care is part of caring for them as well. We have to give them the attention that they too need. And so it's important for us to understand and embrace these concepts as much as possible. I know it's difficult, but yet the Torah reminds us of the importance of focusing on, empathizing with the person who might need that extra help, but at the same time remembering that we have to help those and also consider the feelings of the others around us as well. And it shouldn't be necessarily it's certainly neglected as a result of what we're doing for that other person. This seems to be the Parsha way, it is the Torah way, and it is the Gila way. Shabbat Shalom.